Hello, hello, hello. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. As I always say, come one, come all, come big, come small. Come on in the room, best friends. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, let me check the date because you guys know I say it's one day and then find out it's something else. Happy Tuesday, best friends. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday morning to all of the best friends. Shout out to everybody who will catch this video as a replay. Shout out to all of our subscriber best friends. For those of you guys who have never seen me before, you might come across this video and wonder who's talking to you. I am Candy Sincerity Johnson. I help people 5x their income in 12 months. I help you do it in one of two ways. I help you do it by taking the money that you already have, maybe from your retirement, maybe from your 9 to 5, and I help you look for ways to multiply and invest that money. Or if you are an entrepreneur or you have that entrepreneurial bug, I help you start and grow and scale your online business. I help you do that. Why? Because I've done it for myself and I've done it for others. We took our business to over $500,000 per year in a matter of less than 2 years. So good morning to all of the best friends. Listen, what we do on this page, thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Thank you for all of the things. What we do on this page is we look at everything that's trending on social media. We look at everything that's going on out there. And we introduce a conversation about money, about finance, about business that all the people are having, but we put the spin on it so that we're not just gossiping. We're not just talking about people. What we're doing is we're taking a conversation that everybody's talking about. We look at it from a different lens and we look at it and we extract all of the ways that we can learn lessons about money, about business, and about our relationship with each other. And so there has been something that has been trending over the past couple of days. There's been something that the people are talking about, and I wanted to come online before I get on the road and address this conversation, best friends. So I titled this video ChelleBelle and the obituary sale, huh? So look at your neighbor and say ChelleBelle and the obituary sale. I titled the video ChelleBelle and the obituary sale for one reason, best friends. I titled the video that for the simple fact that ChelleBelle is the social media name of Grandma Holla's granddaughter. I'm sorry. You guys that have been following us for a while, anybody who's been on social media for any length of time, they know that there is a young lady out there that is very, very popular named ChelleBelle on social media. She is Grandma Holla's granddaughter. So the late, great, phenomenal social media sensation, Grandma Holla, passed away not too long ago, and ChelleBelle is the granddaughter that helped her get the social media fame that she received. She also was her primary caretaker, and she has been trending for a very, very, very long time. So what has been happening to my understanding, best friends, is so many people all over the world that have found Grandma Holla's videos, fell in love with her, followed her journey. All of these people said, look, I couldn't make it to the services. I was unable to be present, but Grandma Holla really meant something to me. So if you would be so kind, family, go ahead and put an obituary, a copy of the obituary in the mail to me. I would love to have that almost as like a keepsake, a memento, etc., right? And so people all over the world have been asking for them. They've been requesting them. The family has been sending them out. And so to my understanding, the way that I understand the story to have gone is that they had about 50 that were left after the services. After everything was said and done, they had about 50 that were left. Now, family, to my understanding as it relates to this subject matter, the family didn't just get the little one page, black and white obituary that, Uncle Junebug had when he passed away, right? Uncle Junebug. I'm making up a character name because, a lot of black families have Uncle Junebug, okay? So to my understanding, family, You know, Grandma Holla didn't have the Uncle Junebug type of obituary where, you know, it was only, you know, 10 cents to print it, you know, and it was in black and white and the letters was running all off the side of the paper. Grandma Holla didn't have that kind of obituary, huh? Grandma Holla had, to my understanding, something like a full, you know, a full sort of situation where it was, you know, it had some girth to it. You know, it had some color to it. Huh? It had some photographs to it. It was well thought out. And so to my understanding, the family, being ChelleBelle and the rest of the family, said, hey, to the people who want a copy of the obituary, we would like you to have that. We would like that keepsake to be available to you. But you're going to need to cash out. You're going to need to send $5. What does the $5 include? The $5 includes the copy of the obituary because somebody's got to pay for it, huh? It's not free. It also covers the shipping and handling so that we can go ahead and put it in an envelope, send it UPS, send it, post office, send it however they send it and get it directly to you. Now, to my understanding, again, family and best friends, what has been happening is so many people on social media have been weighing in. They've been giving their perspective. They've been giving commentary. And a lot of people have been attacking this family as it relates to this subject matter. And so some of the best friends, they know we talk money. They know we talk business. They know we talk finances. And they know we've been following this story for a very long time. And so they say, hey, Candy, this would be a good topic for us to sit down and talk about because I would like to know your perspective. If you want to know my perspective, please say in the comments, yes, Candy, we want to know. Yes, Candy, we want to know, and I'll give you my perspective. That's the synopsis of what I understand has happened. If I'm missing any details, you guys know we pride ourselves over here on this side with making sure that the information that we're discussing is both accurate and, complete. We don't want to just give part of the story. I want to make sure that before I give my perspective, that the information that I have to my understanding and to everything that's been released is accurate and complete. Does that make sense? Okay. So Tawanda says yes. Demetra says yes, we want to know. Miss Rosalind says yes. Kenya says yes. Hey, best friends, Kim, Brenda, Deborah, Alicia. Hey, good morning, Miss Alicia. Lavonda. Okay, I understand. So my best friends literally want to know what I think about this subject matter. Here's what I think about this subject matter. Now, best friends, oftentimes what happens, we as humans, we have a falling out with people, a disagreement. Somebody will say or do something on social media and we won't agree with how the situation was handled, right? And so oftentimes we'll paint that person in a certain light. And so anything that that individual says or does from that point forward, we've already pegged them a certain kind of way. We've already put them in a box. We've already, made up our mind as to how we view them or what we think. And so I always tell you guys, one of the things that I try to do is I try to take every person and look at that person on an individual basis. And I try to take every situation and I look at that situation based on the facts. And I try to figure out as it relates to my core values and what I believe and all of those things, judge each situation and each person on his or her own merits. Does that make sense? Now, with all of that being said, you guys have seen the previous videos that I've done on this subject matter. You've seen the previous videos that I did as it relates to the GoFundMe and all of the other things. When I look at this particular situation and I look at it only on its own merits and I'm not factoring any other prior circumstances in to my decision making as it relates to this particular situation, I will say I have an unpopular opinion. I don't think ChelleBelle or the family is doing anything wrong with charging $5 for the obituary. Here's why. Who's going to pay for it? If the person who wants it is not going to pay for it and it has to be printed and the printing company is not willing to do it pro bono and the paper company is not giving them the resources, or the ink to do it for free, and the post office is not willing to mail it to you for free, if we don't hold all these other companies and organizations to a standard where we're looking at them to do something for free, why should the family eat the cost of you as the individual wanting a copy of the obituary? So for the people who are saying, no, they trying to get over, they just looking for a come up, all of these things, I would challenge that person who's saying that. And I would say, you must not have an online business, because anybody with a product or service that's mailed anything knows that depending on where you're mailing it in the country, after you factor in the printing cost of this, color multiple page obituary, and after you factor in the cost of sending it out, putting it in an envelope, sending it out, that $5 may or may not even cover the full cost depending on what part of the country that package is going to. Okay. So with all of that being said, my question, it's not even a pushback. It's not even a challenge. My question to the people who are saying, no, I think it's wrong for them to charge. My question to you is, who should pay for it? You see what I'm saying? Who should pay for it? Who should pay for it? You see what I'm saying? Who should pay for it? And so far too often, there's something that happens in the Black community. Can I really have a real conversation? There's something that happens in the Black community. And for all of our family members, all of our best friends that are of different cultures, this is one of them ones you want to sit back and listen, but this is one of the ones you probably want to sit with this one out, right? And you want to see, really how this thing works behind the scenes, because you can learn a whole lot. But to all of our best friends that are Black, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's something that happens within our culture, and it's happened since the beginning of time. It's happened for years, right? And it goes all the way back to the slavery days, where when we see each other, we are groomed to look at the negative first. We're literally groomed to look at each other from a negative perspective first, and a judgmental perspective first. And then we start, when the facts come out otherwise, then we start to put our walls down and we start to give each other the benefit of the doubt. But we've done that since the beginning of time. If you don't believe me, watch this video. What I normally do when I do a trending topic is, as comments come in from the replay, I clean up the comments. For the sake of me proving my point, I'm going to leave the comments up. And as you guys see the comments, as you go back through, you're going to see that a lot of the comments while I'm live are positive. But then what happens is people come back. They're going to see the title of the video, and before they even watch a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes in, they're going to already make their judgment, and they're going to start coming for me, right? They're going to start saying stuff, and I'm just going to leave it up because it proves my point. You understand what I'm saying? And so with all that being said, we always have this shoot first, ask questions later mentality towards each other. The way that we handle each other is very toxic and is very poor. You understand what I'm saying, family? And I'm not saying that everybody does it, but I'm saying oftentimes we look to each other and we expect this of the person who looks and sounds like us, but then we expect this of everybody else. And it's very unfair. If you walked in the emergency room right now, of course, y'all know hospitals are on my mind. If you got sick and you walked in the emergency room right now and your arm was hanging off, something tragic happened to you and you're in excruciating pain, you don't look at the person who comes in from registration who says, ID and insurance, please. Huh? They ain't even treated you yet, family. Huh? They haven't even got you out of your pain. Sometimes they haven't even stabilized you if we having a real conversation. But them people will walk in and they will say, license and registration, please. And what do? Girl, you get down in that pocketbook, your arm, the one arm you got left, the one is hanging off and you in excruciating pain. The other one, you digging for that license and registration, and you give it to the people and you don't even ask a question. But when it comes to us and our dealings with each other, we're so toxic. And we're often so toxic that we can't even see that we have this mentality towards each other. You understand what I'm saying? But everybody else sees it. And they just sit back and just watch. They just watch the fight. People People just sit back and they just watch the fight. And they sit back with popcorn. That's why these numbers be running up on social media. Because everybody else be sitting back with popcorn watching a fight. Very much so like if Floyd Mayweather was in a fight. You understand what I'm saying? And so people just sit back and watch because we self-destruct. We self-destruct. We get so emotionally invested in a situation because we've already made our mind up about who she was, what the family were doing, and everything. Then instead of us saying, okay, let's look at my brother and my sister on a case-by-case basis. Let's look at the situation on its own merits, and let's take the emotion out and let's insert logic in. Let's remove emotion and let's put logic in, and let's just look at it for what it is and say, is it fair? Is it reasonable? Right? Is it reasonable? Is it sustainable for us to expect a woman to sit up here and pay, right, the cost of somebody on social media saying, hey, look, I want a copy of the obituary. And you supposed to just mail it to me. You supposed to invest your time, which you'll never get back. You supposed to invest your envelope, your postage. You see what I'm saying? You supposed to pay the printing company. If we don't expect the printing company to print it for free, and we don't expect the post office to mail it for free, and we don't expect the envelope company to make their investment and to send all these mailers for free, then why should we expect that of our brother or our sister? I'll wait. Again, unpopular opinion. Somebody got to pay the cost. In all aspects of life, in all aspects of love, and in all aspects of my favorite one of all, business. Somebody got to pay the price. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody got to pay the price. So for the people who are saying she's scamming, she's doing this, she's doing that, I don't argue with people online. This is not going to be a back and forth. I'm not getting into it with nobody. You understand what I'm saying? I operate over here in fact, not logic. I mean, fact, not emotion. That's what I meant to say. So with that being said, if you feel that she's scamming or she shouldn't charge $5, my pushback or my response will be, what's your solution? Because out of everybody who's giving criticism, I have not heard one person offering an alternative solution. So that's my aspect of the conversation. That's my addition to the conversation. Is I respect everybody's opinion, even those who don't always agree with me, because I'm not always right. But my pushback will be, if you don't think that this is the best way, then for the people who really want the obituary, should they just not get it? Should you just say, let bygones be bygones, it's just done? Or who should pay for it? Now, there were some other people who said, well, look, best friend, there were some folks that gave to that GoFundMe, so why should I have paid for the funeral, and still got to pay for obituary? Now that's a valid point, right? So what I would do if I paid for the funeral, if I invested or gave a donation for the funeral, then I would get in the inbox of the family, or if they got an email address or something like that, I don't know, right? I would go ahead and contact them and say, hey, my name is such. I've been following for a while. When you guys posted the GoFundMe, I sent the love offer, I sent the donation. I would say my name, what I sent, etc. And I would say, I personally feel like I should be one of the people who get, obituary without having to pay. And then you work it out that way, right? But you should be able to prove, because otherwise everybody would just say, yeah, I gave. No, you should be able to prove that, yeah, you gave. You understand what I'm saying? And those people shouldn't be charged. But that's just my perspective on things. But I'm saying, family, I would check the vein in which you're offering criticism and critique every time something happens. When it comes to us, when it comes to our commentary, when it comes to our perspective on things, sometimes we're a lot more critical with the people who look just like us and the people from our own community than we are with the rest of the world. And that's not fair. That's not fair. If it's a situation where you have criticism, let it be consistent across the board. But I oftentimes see us expecting more of our brothers and our sisters than we do of other people. We shouldn't hold each other to a higher regard than we hold other people. So for the people who are saying, no, she shouldn't charge $5, I would say, okay, well, let's get a petition down to the printing company, to the post office. Let's run a petition, to all these people, and let's tell them that, we expect it for free on their end too. Okay. So yeah. Miss Mia said, how many requests did she have? She said, I wouldn't think that it would be a lot of people that would want them mailed. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I don't know. I don't think it's ever been said how many requests, have come in, but you would definitely be surprised because a lot of people will hold on to that as almost like a keepsake. So I could imagine, if there was 1 point something million followers over there on that page, even, let me see, the computer is right here. Let me see if I could pull up, calculator. Let's assume, let's just be conservative rather, and say that there's 1.2 million followers over there. Let's just say that 2% of people requested it. That's 24,000 right there. Even 2%, saying 98% didn't ask for it, don't want it, they ain't involved. Even if 2% asked for it, that's 24,000 obituaries. Who's paying for that? Even if it was a percent of a percent of a percent and it's 2,000, who's paying for that? Y'all see how these numbers quickly grow, and you see how this money quickly adds up? And so that's just my perspective. That's just my perspective. In life, in love, and in business, family, the lesson of this video is somebody's always got to eat the cost. Somebody always has to eat the cost and make the sacrifice. And so if not you, then who in this conversation? But that's it. That's all I have for you. Of course, I'm going to be in the comments. I'm going to be looking at everything. But I promise you, you guys wanted my perspective. I gave my perspective. That's my 2 cents. Again, I'm not saying that how I feel or what I think is gospel. It's just my perspective. But again, this is my perspective, being non-biased and being able to look at the situation through the lens of, I don't have a dog in the fight. You guys know when it comes to me and my commentary, I always side with what I believe to be truth. And so this is what I believe to be true. So you guys, I hate to cut the video short. I gotta go. I received a call from my aunt. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the video on yesterday with Aunt Lisa. I talked to Aunt Lisa this morning. She was with Dad at the hospital and some of the other family members late last night. And she said that Dad is starting to decline. And so I think after my conversation with her, to my knowledge, Dad is not really speaking. He's not able to speak anymore. He's in like a sleep. And so, that's the news that I got this morning. So, I'm rushing to his bedside at this point. I want to be there for him. I want to be able to hold his hand, walk in the door, say, "Hey, Superman. Hey, Superman." That voice. I want to be able to do that and just tell him I love him and just give him another hug and kiss for as many days as God will allow. So I love you guys. Make sure you keep your notifications on. You have no idea when I'm going to call. I have no idea when I'm going to call. But I love you guys, and I appreciate all of the love, all of the support, all of the prayers, everything that you guys have been giving me. Make sure you keep me posted on anything else that's going on, because I'm on and off social media. But I will definitely do my best to check everything and stay in contact with you guys. Take care.